Welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
Hello, welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is episode City 4, 0xc4. It is the 197th episode. And reminder, nothing on the show's financial advice. Stay tuned after all of the updates for an AMA. So in the first segment, the current thing, nothing was submitted. So we skipped that. In Dragonchain updates, our last week's distribution of Super Happy Dragon Lucky lot, there were 548 lot created. There was one question or topic for 91 lot, 2 featured posts for 91 lot. The host received 91 lot and Dragonchain received 183 lot. There are also 2 active Super Happy Dragon Lucky DAO issues right now. One is to shutter the merch segment, just to simplify things, and maybe we do something generic, we don't know yet. And the other would be to shutter the current thing segment. So get in there, vote on it. If you don't want us to cut those off, fine, but otherwise, because a lot of that stuff, especially the current thing, ends up being handled on the roundtable. So anyway, so that's all the Dragonchain updates. We have Den.Social updates, which the May 2023 LCP, the layer creation process commitment phase, starts today. So per DENDAO vote from a few months ago, we just changed that. So per the very recent DENDAO vote, the #1 layer proposal as ranked by unique voters and the #1 layer proposal as ranked by lore committed will be created. They could very well be the same layer proposal that wins both of those, in which case only one will be created. All commitments of lore should be made by next Tuesday, May 16th at 1000 Eastern Daylight Time, 1400 UTC. I think it's Eastern Standard Time. But either way, make sure you get your commitments in before Tuesday morning next. Then we do Coffee with Den updates, airs tomorrow at 0900 Eastern and 1300 UTC. As a reminder, everyone who participates in the show earns Coffee with Den lot. The topic this week is top posts and layer review. Now we do DENDAO updates. So the LCP winners for June are going to be on, I guess that was the main thing, that DENDAO passed the vote to change it to single top unique voter and the single top lore committed proposal winning. And that is a change from what it was before, where we had essentially 3 different and they were kind of wide range. So it'll be a fun experiment to just have 1 or 2 created every month. My bet is that it'll result in 1 unless somebody does something interesting. So, okay, then make sure you join us for the weekly DENDAO call on Thursday, May 11 at 1500 Eastern and 1900 UTC. Watch for the post in the DENDAO layer for the agenda and a link to join live. Everyone's welcome to join. You don't even have to turn on a camera. It is just a meeting, and it's you usually have a pretty good conversation about what should be built next and how to do it, how to go about it. So join for that. Now we're going to go to World Blockchain Roundtable updates. Make sure you watch and share last week's episode, which was freestyle. So it's totally open. And the more views that it gets the first week, the more lot all the participants will get. Episode 103 will be broadcast live this Thursday, May 11 at 1100 Eastern, 1500 UTC. The topic is monetization of data, which is, very interesting in the blockchain world. So make sure that you leave a blockchain related question or subject to discuss, and we'll get on it. That's all the updates. So we'll do an AMA right after this.
Now, more than ever, our data is at risk. Our supply chains are in jeopardy. Our systems are broken, and businesses feel powerless. Dragonchain gives you a different way, a safer way, a better way, and you have power over your data. Dragonchain gives you proof in an untrusted world. Build now at Dragonchain.com, America's blockchain.
All right, so let's go to the questions. And again, you get credit for one question, even if you have multiple, and we will answer them in the order that they are sorted by all of the viewers. So Dayrock's first question: can our old posts still receive matter if someone votes on them? Absolutely. So the interesting thing is the consensus can even change. That is, let's say you had a piece of content, and this would be post or reply, that a piece of content would potentially, how do I say this? Let's say it had a negative consensus rating on it, that later in time, let's say when more things were known, people come in and it's like, oh, you know what? Now, you can't change an existing vote after the hour, after you have 1 hour to change your vote up, down, and commit different amounts of energy. After that, it's locked for any given denizen. But if you hadn't seen it before and you go in and you vote on it, the consensus can actually even change, and the amount of energy applied is only considered for the period, the mining period. So if there was 100,000 energy on it in the past, that 100,000 won't be considered or counted for the mining rewards for today, right? But yeah, essentially, it's almost like it's again a mini prediction market again, where within this day, that movement will happen. The consensus, though, is from all time. So it is, mapped from all time. So yes, and there is even a potential, although it's exponentially, over time. I can't remember the exact formula, but essentially there is a draw off where it could even show up in trending if you get enough activity and people voting on it today, even though it's older. So yes, great question of D-Rocks. Next, IM4IM asks, okay, recently Twitter seems to have stolen a play out of Den's playbook. They have decided to post information overlays after a consensus is reached by the community that identifies a tweet to be inaccurate. Were you aware of this? Yeah, I've actually played with it a little bit. It seemingly works, at least in the places that I've seen it, in giving extra info. It is definitely, in my opinion, way better than what it was before, where it was someone sitting in an ivory tower in San Francisco could just mark something to be false or misleading or something without any way to give feedback or to even figure out what caused that marking. So yes, I was aware of this. What are your thoughts? Generally, I like it. So you say, I personally like how Den does this numerically with energy rather than what appears to be an AI function in Twitter. Does Dragonchain hold a patent on this tech? So the interesting thing about about Den doing this versus Twitter is we're applying it to everything. So and we're adding, exactly as you're talking about, the energy is an extra dimension. So it's if you step back and looked at it and didn't think about how matter is rewarded and all of the details, if you just look at it in terms of, okay, you have a reputation which is objectively set by all of these various behaviors on the system, and that reputation is essentially mirrored or mapped to your energy, right? And you could go to the details of how exactly, and you can optimize and everything else, but if you're a new person coming in and you can at least see that approach, because it's a prediction market, it's harder. We had the question last week on the roundtable about Sybil attacks and what essentially are issues with sock puppet accounts and fake users. The behavior aspect is one mapping, and then the second is the fact that it's an actual prediction market. So if I have better behavior overall, objectively measured over time, than a different person, I'm going to have more weight in not necessarily the decision, because the decision is still one vote per, but it's much harder to override the system with fake accounts. And it's also much harder for a whale to override it. So we've answered both questions. I mean, the typical Sybil attack, which is the issue with fake users changing consensus, and then the other issue with a whale. Let's say a long-time user, or let's say a billionaire comes in and buys a whole bunch of matter in order to build up their energy. It can't change the consensus. In fact, they will be less efficiently using that energy if they're voting the wrong way on purpose, right? So I do think that what Den does is a vastly superior system and algorithm than what Twitter does. I mean, Twitter at least is doing some good things better than they were in the past. But we're still obviously learning a lot about behavior systems, and I've moved from calling them, at least when we're writing to people and talking with customers about this, I've started to liken them as behavior marketplace AI, so people can get a better understanding of what we're doing. I mean, what we're essentially letting you apply behavior tech in a way that is essentially artificial intelligence, because you're using a group of people that you don't have to train. You don't have to spend years or months or a lot of money training and testing the training of the AI, because the people can map their behaviors to doing good. And essentially it's the challenge to the system of identifying what behaviors they actually want and how to best measure those behaviors, and how then to best communicate what behaviors are necessary. So anyway, that's a long answer, but we don't have a patent on the tech, but we have a patent on a lot of the tech that is necessary to make that work, if that makes sense. I mean, the interchain, the big one is time, and that reputation and security system that Dragonchain has on time on a blockchain. So anyway, really great questions. So thanks a bunch, guys. Good rewards on all that. There is no featured content marked for this week, so we go straight to merch. Coupon code this month is Liberty-2023. No, I don't even know. I'm not even going to make any comments about Liberty 2023. We'll see what happens in 2024, though, I guess. 10% off this month on any merch in that group. Has stuff on us. There's just an Assange shirt. There's a whole set of videos that we actually got some national airplay with. So it's good stuff. Go there, Dragonchain.store, and buy some stuff. In closing, make sure you watch us again next week. Same time, 1100 Eastern, 1500 UTC. Make sure you watch World Blockchain Roundtable today at 1100. Thursday at 1100 Eastern, 1500 UTC. And make sure you follow Dragonchain, Real Denizens, and Jojo Row. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and everything else wherever you are watching this. Thanks a bunch. Bye.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible. But that conclusion is laughable, so with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.